Today, we are diving into the intricate web of intrigue spun by the latest and most anticipated addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Madame Web. Prepare to embark on a journey through dimensions, mysteries, and the enigmatic depth of the Spider-Verse. Except there is no Spider-Man in this universe, and Sony and Marvel haven't come to an agreement on the contract yet, so the contract is not sorted. Yo, Andrew here, welcome to 2 Cents. I watch stuff, and sometimes I recommend stuff. And today, I'm actually coming right out and saying this movie may not be perfect, but it does not deserve the tongue lashing it's getting from every reviewer out there. This movie is actually entertaining, and it's not choppy at all. It flows quite well, even if it's not perfect. Okay, I'm gonna be a little controversial here, okay? Hear me out. This movie is for entertainment purposes only. It's not Shakespeare. Just enjoy it for what it is. Guys, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos saying this movie is trash. I've seen some articles online saying this movie is absolutely garbage. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not that deep. Sure, the movie has all the superhero movie tropes of the early 2000s, but that's okay. We don't have to shit on everything. Some movies are just there for entertainment. And I think this is one of those ones because last week or a couple of weeks ago we had Argyle, and I can understand when people said this movie was a little bit nuts. But this one is comfort food. That's what this movie is. Okay, look, I'm not saying the writing was Oscar worthy by any means, but I think they put in a lot of effort, some good effort to make this movie and the story entertaining. That was the very least they could do. And if you have kids, they would love this movie, and if you just get off your high horse, you will enjoy this movie. It's not that bad at all. So here's what you need to know real quick. Madame Web is one of those side characters in the Marvel Universe that you would not have thought would get its own movie, but here we are. She's a mentor of sorts to Spider people, and in this case, there are three Spider Girls that she is a mentor to. That's basically the baseline of this movie. The premise is Madame Web can see the future before it happens, and she saw the possible demise of three girls, and she now has to babysit them to keep them alive, and some sort of Spider-Man is out there to kill them to avoid the three girls killing him in the future, as his dreams suggested this is his destiny. Now I'm going to give you guys the pros and cons to this movie, starting with cons. Con number 1. Now, because I recently watched a movie called Anyone But You, starring Sydney Sweeney as a sexy young adult. Actually, so far, her entire career has been based around her sexy appearance. So it's kind of hard for me. It's a lot harder for me to buy her as an innocent teen in this movie. Hell, she kind of looks like the doll from Megan in this movie for some weird reason. Really, if you look at it, maybe she's wearing a bit of a wig. Con number 2. There were some sloppy sequences that logically don't make sense at all, but you can overlook them. But I found it hard to just logically get over it, but it is overlookable, if that's a word. I think it is a word. It is very overlookable. Con number 3. There is this weird movie trope where biracial African-American female characters are just assholes for no good reason. I find it super annoying and I wish it would just stop. Having said that, I have met some light-skinned kids and God, they're up themselves. Okay, so that was a gross overgeneralization, and I said that with a slight comedic effect. So let's just move right on. Con number 4. The villain is forgettable, but not for a lack of effort. That actor did put some work in. It's just that he will be forgotten. I'm sorry about that. Con number 5. The three Spider-Girls lack character depth. You don't have enough reason to care about them. It's just someone should have given us more background information. Maybe the director, maybe the writer, but they didn't. And I think that's to the detriment of this film. And now let's move over to pros. Pro number 1. This movie is not a trash movie. It's not great either. It's just entertaining, and I think you would really enjoy it if you let yourself. You would. Trust me. Don't buy into all this hype of hating things, because we don't need to hate a bunch of stuff. I'm not saying it's perfect. We just don't have to hate it that much. Pro number 2. Dakota Johnson really earned her money in this role. She wasn't phoning it in. She really carried this movie on her back, and I applaud her for that. She really outdid herself on this one, especially with what she had to work with. Pro number 3. The villain's motive is not convoluted, so you can actually understand his goals, and his goals are silly, don't get me wrong, and also they lack depth, but it is understandable. So I feel like it's linear. You know, this is what he wants, and this is how he's gonna get it, and that's okay with me. Pro number 4. The overall pacing of this film is not jarring, nor does it feel like it's overly rushed like some other comic book movies that we've seen lately. Pro number 5. It actually is entertaining for kids and adults alike. That's sort of the reason why we go to the cinemas, isn't it? Just to have fun. Pro number 6. It's not woke or pushing any feminist agendas. Basically, there is no pandering to any specific topical matter, and I'm gonna say thank God for that. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this movie 6.5 out of 10 because it's not actually a horrible movie, and I did enjoy watching it. It sort of reminds me of the Terminator in the way Terminator needs to kill John Connor because of what he might do in the future. Look, this movie is not the greatest movie out there, sure, but it's not the worst movie you will see all year. That's if you want to go out to the movies and watch something. This movie definitely feels like it should have been made in the early 2000s because it has that old Marvel feel from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man era. And that right there is my 2 cents. If this video brought you any value whatsoever, like and consider subscribing. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.